Okay, so again, guys, I'm just gonna go down, okay? And basically tomorrow I'm gonna knock out the evens, okay, with you. But tonight the homework is gonna be do the evens. I should have enough time to knock out the odds right now. All right, and then again, I really think it's a great idea, since I posted the solutions to the other fractions, is for you to go check your answers. All right, see how you really are doing. So here we go with number one. All right. So if I'm starting over here with number one, Max, tell me what's the common denominator?
24.
24 is, thank you, sir. So we're gonna write 24 and 24. So what am I multiplying the first fraction by?
3.
Yep, so what does that become?
9.
You're great. And the second one becomes?
20.
That is correct. So final answer.
-11/24.
You are great. So 1 for 1. If you got that, remember, check yourself. That means you know how to do number one. All right, simple as that. All right. Now, number 3. Addison, you're up. You're doing great, kiddo.
The first one is -42,
So far, so good.
and then the second one would be -35.
Really, really good. All right.
And the answer is 7/60.
Why is that?
Um,
Now, think about it right here, kiddo. -42 and -35. How much is that?
7.
Nope. Because they're both negative. So you're supposed to add them. You see that?
Yeah.
Right? If one of them was a positive, one was a negative, you would be correct. Okay, but they're both negative, so I want you to add them. So when I add them, what am I getting?
77.
Yep, what kind of 77?
-.
That's perfect. You with me on that? So just double check your mistake. Double check your mistake. If you made a little mistake, you should be starring it so you can do it again to review. All right, Kelvy, you're up. Number 5, what's the common denominator?
36.
All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So everybody's putting down 36. All right, now what?
So it's 5 times 4, which is 20, and then
Positive or negative?
negative,
All right,
and then it's 6 times 5, which is 30,
positive or negative?
positive. Oh, sorry, negative,
Good. And then
and then it's going to be 3 times 7, which is 21.
perfect. So now what?
So then it's gonna be -20 plus 30.
So I'm helping, you're telling me. So now we're just adding the numerators, right?
Right.
So how am I going to add this?
20 plus 30 equals 50, and 50 plus 21 equals 71.
No, 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 no. Because there's negatives involved.
Oh, yes, negative.
Right, so now everybody look up on the board because I want to show you what I think you should do. -20 and -30 is -50. Does everybody agree with that? But look, it'd be easier if I did 21 minus 20. What's 21 minus 20? 1, and then 1 minus 30. What kind of 29? -29. So everybody should be able to say that's just -29 over 36. Does it matter the order in which you add or subtract now? No, because you understand positives and negatives. All right, now, again, I've been trying to talk to your parents about you understanding or not understanding. And if you're not understanding, you should be raising your hand saying, just slow down for me and show me that one more time. Help me here or help me there. But you don't, some of you. Anybody have any issues with that problem? Everybody's good. Max?
I didn't really understand that. Do you think you could go over?
Yes, I can for you, of course. Now, did you understand we got a common denominator of 36?
Yeah.
So are you okay with -20, -30, and 21?
Mhm.
Now, what I was trying to show the kids was this. Instead of doing -20 and -30, which is -50, and then add 21, that's still negative 29. Do you agree with that? But to me, it was easier to say 21 minus 20 is just 1. And then 1 minus 30 was negative 29. Are you happy with that explanation?
Yeah.
Now, are you sure you're good with the common denominator being 36s and how I got the 20, the 30, and the 21?
Can you say that again?
I got the 36 because I multiplied by 4,
Yeah.
right? So that gave me a 20. Then on the second fraction, I multiplied by 6. So that's how I got the 30.
Mhm.
And then for 12, I had to multiply by 3. So that's how I got the 21.
Okay.
Now you good with that?
Yeah.
All right. You have pencil to work with, or are you good in pen?
I'm good with pen. It's erasable.
Okay. Well, I want it neat. Try to be organized. Okay. You happy with that now explanation?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mhm.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Curtis, you're up on number 7. Okay, so tell me, I want you to tell me, yes, you can make it 1/1. But what do you think? 9 minus 4/5. Think about pizzas. You have 9 huge pizzas in front of you. You eat 4/5 of one. How much is left? Well, why 3? You have 9.
Oh, I have 9 pictures.
Yeah, because that's what this number means right here. You have 9.
So the 8 of them.
Yeah, there you go. 8 1/5. All right, 8 1/5. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's kind of simplify that and then like back to 8/5 and 1 because it'd be 41.
If you make it 41/5, I'm good with that, but it's not necessary.
All right.
Tell me.
Can you redo that part?
Yeah. So look right here. Here's what I'm going to tell you, right? So listen, here's what I have. Think about it like this, and whoever else asked me to do this. I have 9 pizzas. You agree with that?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hungry. So I came along, and this pizza is divided into what?
4/5. Or 5.
It's divided into fifths. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And I come along and say, man, I'm kind of hungry. So what am I going to do? I'm going to eat some pizza, right?
Yeah.
So when I sit down and eat my pizza, I had how many slices?
4.
4. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now, how much pizza is left?
8 and then. Oh.
You see it now, right?
Yeah.
Now, mathematically, I want to show you something on the board that might help some of you. All right. So with this, you're kind of, I'm going to write it as 9 minus 4/5. Some of you might like this. You borrow from the 9 and make it an 8. And then this becomes 5/5. Does that make sense? Anybody have any, does that make any sense? No? So look at this. What if I said I borrowed 1, 8 plus 1 is still 9, right? Now 1 whole can be turned into what? 5/5. That's what I did. Is that any better? That's what I did in my picture. I took one of the wholes, which was this guy right here. I took one of the wholes and I cut it into fifths so I could eat 4 of them. Does that make any sense? Mackenzie, how's that? You sure? All right. Lila, how about you?
Yeah, I understand.
You got it now? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Max, you still good now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I had a special request for some reason for number 8.
Oh, that's on the other one.
Oh, okay. I will look at that in a minute and I'll show you. All right, let's go. Number 9 now. Now 9, everybody should look at that and tell me what the answer is, Wilson.
1 and 5/8.
No,
Negative 1/5.
no. Nope. Sophia, tell him.
Negative 2 and 3/8.
Yes, because they're both negative. What do I do with these two fractions? You add them. True?
Yeah.
No, don't be sorry. Hey, no, Wilson, don't be sorry. Negative 2 and 3/8. That's literally what that means.
Okay, got it. Wait,
So you owe 2 and you owe another 3/8. So you add them together. And when you add them together, that's how you get negative 2 and 3/8. Yes.
So if it's like, if one of them was negative and the other was positive, you wouldn't do that?
No, that is correct. That's what this one would be up here.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah.
But down here, they're both the same, just put them together. All right, let's everybody take a look at 11 now. All right, what am I doing?
Oh, I didn't understand this one.
Okay, so you're gonna tell me what's the common denominator,
24.
right? So I'm gonna write 8 and 5/6 minus 5 and 7/8. So common denominator is 24.
And then it would be 20 over 24.
20 over what?
And then 21.
21. Exactly. Can I subtract now?
You have to borrow
Borrow. So I borrow from the 8 and make it a what?
a 7.
And then what do I do with the numerator and denominator?
I don't know.
Who remembers? I'm gonna let you try, Wilson, get you back on track. What do I do?
You add.
Yeah, you always add these two things together. You always add the numerator and denominator because you're adding 1. You with me?
44.
Yes, that's correct. You make this a 44. And now you can subtract. And when I subtract, what do I get?
You get 23 over 24.
And then what?
And then you get 2.
There you go. All right, Miss Clifton, tell me.
I don't really get why you think it's 20 to 44.
Well, because I can't go, in this problem, I can't go 20 minus 21. Right, so because I can't do that, I have to go ahead and borrow. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay, doke. So I'm happy with that. Everybody good? All right, let's knock out 13. Ooh, a little bit harder for a common denominator. So now I want everybody's eyes up here because I haven't really shown you how you can get a common denominator rather quickly. So I want everybody to look up so I can show you. Can anybody look at 21 and 14 and say, well, I already know the common denominator is this?
Yeah. So I got 42.
42. Yeah, it is correct. 42. Now I want to show you how we know it's 42. All right. So please look, and I'm happy with some of you knew it was 42. So here's what I got, just to show you. So common, I want something common. Can somebody tell me what's common with 7 or with 21 and 14? We all know what? 7 is common. All right. So I want everybody to think there's a 7. Now 21 is 7 times 3 and 14 is 7 times 2. Does everybody see that? So 7 is common. So I only have to use the 7 once. And then the 2 and the 3 are not common. So you have to multiply those out. That's how you can come up with the least common denominator. You pull what's common, and then what's not common, you put it next to, and then you multiply those out. All right. That's how it can be done quickly. All right. So the common denominator again was 42. Now, because we're stacking the fractions, I'm going to put 42 here. And Nora, you just go ahead and finish it. What am I multiplying the first one by?
Multiplying the first one by 2 and
So what do I get?
So you get 7 and 1042.
Yep,
And then you get 2 and 2742.
that is correct. So what's my final answer?
9 and 3742.
Max, how was that?
I didn't really understand the subtraction part of that.
When I didn't really subtract anything.
The last part. Oh, I didn't see the two. My bad.
That's okay. You happy now, right?
Yeah.
Maggie, tell me.
I thought it was addition.
Yeah, we are adding, aren't we? 10 plus 27 is 37, right?
Oh.
7 plus 2 is 9. You sure?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
Can we use the trick for every fraction problem?
Yeah, to get a common denominator. That's exactly correct. You good? And some kids don't like it because they're good with their multiplication facts. If you're not as good with your multiplication facts, it's kind of good to get what's common and then multiply by what's not common. All right, that's a good little technique. All right, here we go. Let's try 15. Now, I should have been saying, are we adding or subtracting these each time? All right, so with these, am I adding or subtracting? Aiden, I'm going to let you tell me about this one. Am I going to add or subtract?
Add.
You're going to add. All right, now I need a common denominator. So can you tell me what's common, Aiden?
Oh, 4.
Yes, 4. So this is 4 times 4, and this is 4 times 5. So now what was common between those two? You see what I mean? There's 2 4s, right? Is that making sense? So I want you to tell me what the common denominator is.
Oh, 80.
80, the common denominator is 80. Because why? There was a common 4. And then I just did times 4 times 5. And 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 times 4 is 80. All right. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that's a good little trick. All right. So now I'm going to put this down here. -13, -5. All right, Aiden, tell me what I'm multiplying the first fraction by. Now, right here, Aiden, look, this is 4 times 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is 4 times 4. So what's missing?
5.
Isn't that nice? So what's the numerator going to become?
35.
Yes, it is. All right, what's the second fraction missing?
Number 7.
So it's going to be
36.
that is correct. All right, so go ahead and add them together for me. What are you thinking?
Negative 18 and 71 is
Yay, very good. -18 and 71 over 80. Yes, sir.
Wait, wouldn't it be positive 18 because there's 2 negatives?
But that's if you're multiplying, remember?
Oh.
Negative and negative is negative. Yes, ma'am.
Why would you be adding?
Because they're both negative. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
If they're both negative, you add. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get the 35 and then 36? Like, what did you multiply?
I multiplied this by 5. I multiplied this by 4.
Wait.
You see
Why
that?
did you multiply the 7 by 5? Oh.
You see that now, right? You good? Anybody else? Good job, Lila. Everybody's asking. That's what I want. All right. I want you to do good on the next test. Anybody have any questions with that? Curtis, how you doing, buddy? Kelby, you writing neater?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Number 17.
Me.
Yeah, you help me with this one.
all right.
First of all, am I adding or subtracting?
First of all, you are adding them
Why?
because negative plus a positive. You can only change.
So what am I doing?
You're adding.
No,
Subtracting.
subtracting.
I was thinking you're adding a negative.
No, that's totally fine. No necessary for explanation. As long as you can tell me you know it's subtraction.
So we gotta have a common denominator, which that would be 35.
That is correct.
And then we gotta multiply the 3 times 5, which that's 15.
Perfect.
And you multiply the 2 times 7,
Which is,
14.
and now what?
Then we subtract, that would be, so with their answer, 3 and 1, 35.
Anybody have any issues with that? Everybody's good? Seems like we're doing pretty well. All right, let's check out 19. You gonna try it, Sophia? All right, adding or subtracting?
You're subtracting.
Subtracting. Again, remember, I'm still putting the larger fraction on top. All right, what's common denominator, kiddo?
77.
77.
So you would multiply the 8 by 7, which would be 56 over 77. And minus 4 and 66 over 77.
Yay, that's good so far.
And then you have to borrow
You have to borrow. Good. So the 6 becomes a,
5.
and then the 56 is annoying. What does that become?
Mm. 34,
7 plus 6.
13,
7 plus 5.
12.
You agree with that?
Mhm.
And now we can do the subtraction.
Okay, so 133 minus 66 is 77.
Wait a minute. Oh, I don't think it can be. I don't think it can be 77. Make the 13 a what? 12, right?
67.
There you go. Right? Don't worry.
So it would be 1 and 67 over 77.
Positive or negative?
Negative,
Because,
because the 6.
yes, exactly, exactly, exactly. Yes.
I'm just so a little confused by the 67 because I got two. Like I don't understand how we got to 67.
Because I did 133 minus 66. What did you do?
I did, that's what I did, 133 minus 66, but I just didn't get the same answer.
Well, I know you can do subtraction. So why don't you try it again? 133 minus 66. What did you get now?
Oh yeah, I got 67, sorry.
Perfect. Okay. Mikey, tell me what to do.
So first part, the common denominator.
Now, what goes first, the 7 or the 3? Am I adding or subtracting?
Subtracting,
Right, so which goes first?
3. Oh,
The 7, right? Because I want to subtract, so I want to put the bigger number on top.
but you're subtracting 7 from 3.
You see? Because when I subtract, I want to put the 7 above the 3. So when I subtract, I can get an answer. I don't want to do 3 minus 7.
Oh. This doesn't mean.
Yes, yes. Okay, go ahead. All right, now again, common denominator is kind of tricky.
90,
90, how did you get that?
because 6 times 15 is 90 and 5 times 18 is 90.
Yeah, so 90 is correct, but let's say you didn't know that, Mikey. So everybody understand what I'm saying about what's common with 15 and 18?
Yeah.
What's common? 3, right? So then 15 is 3 times 5 and 18 is 3 times 6. So now I knew that was common. So now I just need the 5 and the 6. Does everybody agree with that? And so what's 5 times 6? Times 3? 90. All right, but I'm proud of you, Mikey, for knowing that. All right, but to me, that's just helpful if the number's a little bit bigger.
So then 7 and 5, 18. 18 goes to 25 after 90.
Because you're multiplying by what?
5.
And then
11, 15 goes to 66 over 90.
good. So now what do I have to do?
Then you have to borrow from the 7, turn it into a 6.
Hold up. I'm going to pause the video for a second. All right, Mike. So now borrowed, what do we get?
So turn the 7 into a 6, and then what do you do with 25? I'm not sure.
Come on now. We've been borrowing for several problems. What do I do with these two numbers?
Oh, add them together.
You add them together.
And that's 115
115,
minus 90 is 25.
okay.
115 minus 66.
Yes, you got to tell me what that is.
$49 over 90.
Good.
And then so 3 and 49 over 90.
That is correct. All right, that is 100% correct. Yes.
What's the trick to finding what you should multiply by?
Okay, so now look, that's a really good question. So look right here. Everybody think back over here now, look. It's a nice little thing. So do you know 15 is 3 times 5, right? But over here, 3 times 5 times 6 is my common denominator. So what's missing? The 6 is missing. So that's how I knew to multiply the 11 by 6. You with me? And in this one, it's 3 times 6, right?
Mhm.
So 3 times 6. So the 5 was missing. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Good for you. I'm sorry, Aiden, I'll get right with you. Okay, you good on that? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, now what about you, Aiden?
Is 21 negative?
Yes, we haven't gotten to that part. We appreciate that very much. Mikey would never forget a negative, would you, Mikey? Never. We don't do that. That's a negative. Perfect. Yes, Max.
I tried to do division for 115 minus 66.
You mean the subtraction?
Yeah, and I got 39.
Well, let's look at 11. I make as a 10 and make that a 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. 10 minus 6 is 4.
Oh.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Why would you times the 11 by 6 and not by 5?
Because 15 times 6 is 90. 15 times 5 is 75.
Okay.
You with me on that?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go to 23. Okay, I want to hear Curtis on this one. Am I going to add or subtract? Why? When one negative and one positive always means I'm going to do what? No. Always. Whenever there's a positive and negative, you always subtract. You hear me on that? If they're both negative, what do you do? If they're both positive, positive and negative. There you go, buddy. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is what number goes on top, the 11 or the 6? 11. Okay. So we're going to do a negative 11 and 5/12 minus 6 and 2/9. Now, can you tell me what number goes into 12 and 9? Or do you want to do the shortcut? The little trick? All right. So what's common with 12 and 9? What number goes into, yes, 3. All right, so that means 12 is 4 times 3 and 9 is 3 times 3. So this is common and this is common. So what's left behind? So I do times 4 times 3. And what's 3 times 3? Times 4? That's the common denominator. You with me now, right? So now I'm going to move this down a little bit. We have another bell, right? Or is that us?
No, I think that's us.
Is that us? All right, guys, finish up the odds. If you're having trouble, work a little bit on the evens.
So you have homework.